Folks, Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Thursday, July 14th. And if you know, you know. On Thursdays, we usually do our daily financial news at 7 a.m. because we have one of our millionaire experts on at 7:30. So again, I try to get you this show as your first video of the day. I hope you enjoy it. We have a lot to talk about. Before I get into it, I don't want to forget these folks. I've forgotten the last 3 days. Shame on me. Sorry, should have done this before. But we got some people to congratulate. I usually do this at the end, but I have forgotten, so here we go. Tony, congratulations for getting your deal. And then Michael, you have 3 cards coming out. One that got lost in the mail and 2 more. So folks, if you don't know what this is, these are cards that I mail out to anybody who gets their first or next rental property, house hack, owner occ. If this channel helped you, I want to hear about it and I want to send you a card. Again, Michael and Tony, congratulations. Sorry I didn't recognize you earlier in the week. As for Thursday the 14th, a lot of stuff going on. We're going to flip the script and go bottoms up this time just for fun. I don't know if you've heard this, but a lot of you saw it yesterday. I saw it in my messages. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate all of them. The Bank of Canada went up 100 basis points yesterday. Surprise move, bigger than expected. The Bank of Canada is clearly saying inflation is a problem. We have to get ahead of it. You are seeing more and more surprise moves by central banks. I believe in addition to Bank of Canada surprise, the Philippines, if my memory serves, had a surprise rate hike yesterday. This is a worldwide phenomenon. My question to you is, what will the Fed do? It looks like there are significant betting odds on a 100 basis point move next week. It went from 0 to almost 70% of the Federal Reserve doing 100 basis points move. And even more shocking, at least more shocking to me, is the current betting odds, meaning the favorite, is 100 basis points in July and 75 basis points in September. Folks, that would take us to 3.25 in September. Wow. Again, when we talk about Bank of Canada in this surprise 100 basis point or full 1% move, I want to remind you of some fears I have about the Canadian housing market. As someone who lived through an environment where this is bad, folks, this is bad. Only 50% of U.S. mortgages were adjustable rates. 50% of these loans were because of the Great Recession. Now, there was bad underwriting and fraud and all of those other things, but it was the adjustable rate mortgages that reset to much, much higher payments that caused people to walk away, that caused strategic defaults, and it was a mess for years. Remember, we've talked about Canadian housing market a couple of times and New Zealand for the same reason. There are a large percentage of folks who own homes in Canada and New Zealand that will not be able to afford them at today's interest rates. They will be left to sell. And just like in the United States, the first Canadians to sell will be okay. But it's the wave after wave after wave after wave. You could really have a true housing crash occur in Canada. So it is a lot of stuff going on. We must watch. If you are in the Canadian housing market and you know of a YouTube channel, I want to hear about it. Hold on, my dogs are going crazy. What's going on out here? Oh, we have a special guest. Look at this guy. How you doing?
Howdy, I found you.
Yeah, you did. Look at my dogs love you. That's Happy. And little one is Sunny.
Me and Matt, we're going to stop by and hang out with you, but
okay.
Matt has to work.
Yeah, Matt has to work, yeah. Exactly. Well, hey, let me finish this up, and I'll see you in a few minutes. The dogs will probably follow you. Wow, I never have guests at this place. That's pretty cool. That's Dion from Dion Talk. If you don't know who he is part of the Three Amigos. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. I'm going to have to figure out what the heck brought him down from Washington to California, but we'll get into that. Where was I? Oh, Bank of Canada. Yes, I think the Canadian housing market could be in some significant pain, not in the short term, but as we move forward into the long term, maybe like next year, Q1, Q2, Q3. So pretty cool stuff. Let's keep going on. Inflation, the good and bad. As we talked about yesterday, CPI was horrible. I gave you a whole breakdown of the 9-1, all the talk track. As I looked at it a lot more yesterday, I have some positives and some negatives. So let's talk about it in general. So a couple of positives. As mentioned, a large proponent of the inflation is gas, energy, things of that nature. Second, this is a global phenomenon. It is not like only in the United States. And yes, there is a chance that this might be peak inflation. A peak does not mean a rapid fall. It just means it's the highest number. Now, here are the issues inside of CPI. One, you and I care about headline. You are going to hear people talk about core. You may even see core quoted more because it's a smaller number. Core came in at 5.9. It is its third month of falling. It was 6.0 last month. However, when you look inside headline, A, headline is what you and I use every day. Two, there's a large services component. And services component is very sensitive to wages. We can have wage inflation. Hi, Happy. Dion came in and got all my dogs riled up. This is Happy, who's not on camera a lot, so I thought I would show her. There you go. Second, it is broad-based. Broad-based. What I am seeing inside CPI is not a single-legged stool, not even a dual-legged stool. It is everything is getting more expensive. Rent is starting to capture. Rent is starting to uptick. Rent was 6%. There is a fear that rent, because it is so lagging, will actually make inflation stickier. I have done the calculation on rent, and if you correct it for its bias, which was only 6 and it should have been 18, CPI would have been much closer to 13%, 12.8, 12.9, depending on how you count it. And then finally, food inflation. Food inflation is very concerning as we head into the second half. Housing markets. I got some data. Folks, thank you. Lots of you are real estate agents in the real estate game. You are sending me data, which we are going to go through right now. As you know, I believe July 20th, next Wednesday, is a monster day. It's the day the National Association of Realtors brings out existing home sales. It's not going to be good, but it is going to be what you and I talked about, crashing transactions, values up. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about North Carolina. Again, thank you for sending me this data. Transactions in North Carolina, down 24%. Pending home sales, down 17%. New listings, up 1.5%. And finally, median home price, year on year, up 17.2%. So again, transaction down, pricing up. Next, we have South Carolina. South Carolina, again, I'm getting East Coast data. Thank you for sending this to me. If you have data out of your MLS, I would love to see it. My network is certainly more West Coast based. South Carolina, transactions down 13.5%, where median home price is up 17.5%. Next, we have Orange County, or what do we have next? Oh, Las Vegas. Las Vegas. I have so many notes. Where'd it go? Las Vegas. A different agent. Las Vegas down 24%. Prices up 21%, or values up 21%. And Orange County down 27.2%, up 17.8% in prices. Again, folks, the Fed broke housing, transactions crash. Q3, Q4 of this year will be a recession. It will be blamed on housing. It is everything that we talk about in this channel. I can't wait for the data next week. Next, big banks. Big banks. We've talked about this, and so far, you and I have been right. We got big banks today, JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. JP Morgan, missed revenue, missed earnings. Earnings down 28%. They suspend their share buyback. Not good, no bueno. And they built debt for bad, they build reserves for bad debt. This is everything that you and I talked about yesterday and the day before. The banks are telling you the economy is not well. The consumer is not well. And as we talked about, earnings will be down 20 to 48% was the estimate. So far, we are dead on. JP Morgan down 28%. And again, I asked, will they reserve for bad debt? And JP Morgan said yes, almost $500 million. Morgan Stanley missed on revenue, missed on earnings. Earnings down 29%. Investment fees from investment banking down 55%. Tomorrow, we get Wells Fargo and Citigroup. Wells Fargo and Citigroup, far more consumer oriented. I expect those numbers to be even worse. And then on Monday, we get Goldman Sachs and Bank of America. So far, very early into Q2 earnings, not very good, but it is what you and I talked about. Hopefully, you are following along. And then PPI, we got a CPI, a hot CPI reading yesterday at 9.1. Well, PPI did not disappoint either. It came in at 11.3. What is PPI and how does it play with you and me? Think about PPI being your wholesale prices, right? It's kind of one step in front of the consumer. It is possible that when people use, or like when a wholesaler buys something, they can eat margin. So this 11.3 doesn't always make it to the consumer, but you can see as this number gets hotter and hotter and hotter, or larger and larger and larger, they can't take margins to zero. And more importantly, at some point, they won't even try. They'll just pass it through. So again, inflation is coming around. A couple other things I've noted. Well, actually, let's do this first. I did an interview with Anna Kelly yesterday. You can go ahead and find her playlist on this channel. I think it was the second interview of the day. She talked about the best financial decision she has ever made. This, folks, is a mom of 4, I believe. She's gone from being negative net worth of 700 grand, negative, to multimillionaire status. She has made a lot of great financial moves. Her best financial move was house hacking a fourplex. She sold her big house in Houston, Texas. She moved the family to Pennsylvania. She lived with her in-laws for a year, and then she bought a fourplex, and she lived upstairs with her 2 kids and her husband. If Anna Kelly tells you that house hacking is her best financial decision ever, you should pay attention. Why is this important? Well, folks, I'm lucky enough with One Rental at a Time to attract other great people and other great experts. We are going to do back-to-back weeks on house hacking deep dives. This Saturday, we have Todd Baldwin and Spencer Cornelia. Spencer Cornelia from YouTube fame, he has 400,000 subs on YouTube. He goes out and investigates gurus. He actually has interviewed me, and he did a guru series on One Rental at a Time. We are going to talk about house hacking roommate style. And then a week from Saturday, we will have Matt and Dion doing house hacking of units. I have no experience in house hacking. Zip, zero, nada. I can't talk about it, and more importantly, won't. But I can bring experts to you. They can have your questions, and we will go for at least 90 minutes. Now, because I want to control who's in it, I don't want internet trolls and all of your YouTube haters. You must be a student of my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, if you want to watch live and if you want to ask questions. However, like everything I do, we will create the video. We will share it later in the day. It'll probably come out on Sunday, the 17th. So again, no big deal. You don't have $320. No harm, no foul. Wait for Sunday. You will get that amazing video. Again, I can't stress this enough. Best financial decision Anna Kelly has ever made. House hacking. She had 2 kids. She downsized. Folks, success leaves clues, and I would argue that is a big success. So again, what else is going on? Average rent in Manhattan now over $5,000, up 29%. Office space in San Francisco is plentiful. Again, the leaders of San Francisco have decided to adopt an anti-tech campaign, and they are getting what they wish for. Tech is out of town. Salesforce is dumping 350,000 square feet, Slack 200,000 square feet. There's 1.8 million square feet of space coming available. Folks, there's about to be a lot of foreclosures in downtown San Francisco. Lots of office building, debt service ratios, a lot of stuff happening. So again, folks, if your leaders are adopting anti this, anti that, they will get what they want. And there's a huge downside. Think about the tax revenue that San Francisco is losing. Not good. So, folks, I got to go see what's going on with Dion. That was a total surprise. Looks like Sonny is sitting right next to me. He's like, I don't know what's going on, Dad. I'm going to stand next to you. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Good boy.